Hello and welcome to the race brief for Weavers Way ultramarathons. My name is Kevin Burgess, I'm one of the race directors. The race is on the 5th of October and there are two races, a 50 mile and a 50k route. The 50 mile route starts from the Bureau Room at the Memorial Recreation Centre in Acle. Registration for this race will start at 05:30 and run through to 06:30. Race brief will be 6:45 and the race start will be 7 o'clock. This starts a half an hour earlier than last year. This is to allow a bit more daylight for people, so hopefully more of you will finish in daylight. The process at registration, there will be a full kit check, so all the mandatory kits, so make sure you have that. You won't be able to start without the mandatory kit. Please bring your ID so we know who you are, and then we'll issue you with the tracker and bibs. Make sure you write your details on the back of the bibs so that we can see if you've got any medical issues and know who to contact if you have any accidents, etc. Time limit for the 50 mile race is 14 hours. The course is different at the start and also after Potter Heigham this year. So there's a big diversion in place due to flood damage and flood repairs at Hickling. So we've had to alter the start and the bit after Potter Heigham to account for this. So this means that the start diverts off around Fishley, and then at Potter Heigham there is a diversion which goes more on roads rather than near the river. This makes checkpoint 2 a bit redundant this year because the distances are different. So there is only one checkpoint between the start and Stalham this year. For the 50 kilometre race, this starts from the Poppy Centre in Stalham. Registration will be at 7:30 through till 9 o'clock. Same process, there'll be a kit check, ID check, and then you'll be issued your tracker and your bib. Please make sure you fill out your bib numbers on the back to make sure you've got medical details and next of kin. We did have an incident in Boudica Ultra this year where the only casualty we had, there were no details on the back, so it took us quite a while to contact next of kin. Once your race has started, which is at 9:30, you will then head off down the Weavers Way. There are three checkpoints there. North Walsham, which is an indoor checkpoint, and then there are two outdoor checkpoints, both at pubs. One is at Blickling and the other one is at Aldborough. So these three checkpoints are common with both races. There are two cut-offs which shouldn't bother you because the time for each race is pretty generous. The 50 mile has 14 hours and the 50k has 10 hours to finish. And the cut-offs are 3 o'clock at North Walsham. So having started the first race, the 50 miler at 7 o'clock in the morning, that gives you a fairly good time to get there. And then the next cut-off is 17:30 at Aldborough for the 50 kilometre race. That's 9 hours into your race. And at 7 o'clock for the 50 miles, which is 12 hours into the race. The course will be well marked. We'll be out marking the course on Thursday and Friday morning if we haven't finished it on Thursday. We will be using our usual bog hopper arrows. They have a frog on them and they're yellow signs with a green frog and an arrow, and there'll be yellow course markings. Towards the end of the course, in the latter stages, we've also put reflective markings up as well, just in case it's dark when you get there. We'll also issue a GPX. The GPX for the route is prepared already, but if there are any alterations, this will be relayed to you via social media and email in the week preceding the race. Please use the GPX at all times. Although we marked the course pretty well, it has been known for course markings to be removed. At Boudica this year, some children threw some of our signs in the river just for a laugh, and last year a farmer removed all our signs from his land when we're on Weavers Way. So you can't rely solely on signs. We put them out on Thursday, the race is on Saturday. That gives 48 hours for people to tamper with our signs if needs be. This is a cupless race, so please, if you want to drink at the aid stations, bring your own cup. There is to be no littering. It's a beautiful trail. Weavers Way is a lovely trail. It goes through two stately homes, loads of lovely riverside paths. Please do not drop litter. If you're found dropping litter, you'll be disqualified from this race and banned from any future races. Medical, we have medics on call. We have two medics from Challenge Running. They are a company that we use. They can be contacted the numbers will be on your bibs. And If you become a casualty, try and treat yourself if you can, or treat a fellow athlete if you see someone in trouble. If you can get to a checkpoint, get to a checkpoint. If you can't, then you ring the numbers and the medics will find you. Please use. There is a tracker which we can locate you with, but there isn't an SOS button on the tracker. But we will be able to see where you are on the course approximately. If it's a real emergency, then 999. If you feel you need to pull out from the race, please try and get to a checkpoint, pull out of the checkpoint and hand your tracker in. If you can continue, we will have low points in races. If you think you can continue, continue. If you can't and you need to pull out the checkpoint, hand your tracker into the marshal, and then from there you need to call your relatives or spectator or support crew, whoever's with you, to come and pick you up. If there are any last minute changes, we will relay them to you in the week preceding the race, or via social media, or also on email. Our races are slightly different from other races in that we do allow outside assistance. So we allow crews to visit you on the course. They can give you supplies or whatever you need to get you through the race. But please do not come into checkpoints. If you've got support crew, don't allow them to go to checkpoints, because checkpoints can get a bit cluttered otherwise. So they can meet you anywhere on the course other than at checkpoints. We don't put a limit on where they can be, but just not at the checkpoint. Headphones can be worn on the race, but just beware. There are some roads. There's a busy road crossing the A1 at the A140. Please remove your headphones there, because there'll be marshals there. And any of the country roads, if you've got headphones in, you won't hear traffic behind you. So on road, probably best to have your headphones out. The last thing about this race is a bit different. You'll be coming into Cromer and finishing at the pier. It's a brilliant finish line, but you can't race all the way to the pier because you'll be crossing two busy roads and going through the town centre. So there'll be a town centre marshal. When you hit the town centre marshal, that is your race order. So the first person to get to town centre marshal is the winner of the race. The next person will be second, etc., etc. After then, just make your way leisurely to the pier for your finish. Do not race the last bit. No overtaking after the marshal. That being said, we rely on lots of marshals to put these races on. We've got 30 odd marshals this year to put on Weaver's Way. If you fancy helping us with these races, please put your name forward. Contact us on our email or via messenger, and we will add you to our marshal list. Marshals are the lifeblood of our sport. Without them, we can't put any of these races on. So please, if you like racing with us, come and volunteer as well, please. And lastly, we have a photographer on our course. Giles, our photographer, is professional. You might have seen his pictures already. They're absolutely fantastic. Now, Giles has to keep up with the race. So he needs to photograph everyone crossing the finish line, including the winners. So as you can see, if a winner in the 50k only takes 4 hours, he's going to be at the finish line quite early, and he'll miss some of you further down the course. So if any of you have got relatives or spectators with you who fancy taking some photographs as you go along, and they want to submit their photographs onto our social media, that'd be great. Then we can have more pictures there, more pictures of people later in the course, middle of the field athletes and back of the field athletes, rather than just loads of pictures of the winners and the people at the start. So if you've got any friends who are budding photographers and want to help us out, just taking pictures along the course, feel free, snap away, and send them into our social media. We will gladly use your pictures as well. Well, it's not long to race day now. We hope you're all training well and staying fit and uninjured. So we look forward to seeing you in October. Stay safe, and we'll see you there.